Good morning, all of you. Up to where we had discussed in earlier class. Hope all of you referred in NCERT and notes up to fertilization topic. In today's class, we are going to discuss about implantation. So, implantation in reproductive events, we had discussed regarding about implantation. So, what is implantation? The attachment of blastocyst with endometrium wall of uterus is called implantation. So, in earlier topic we discussed regarding about fertilization. After the fertilization, what is formed? Zygote formation takes place. So, zygote undergoes different types of the divisions and zygote is going to be implanted. Zygote further develops as an embryo and it is going to be implanted with uterus wall. So, before going to implantation, so what type of the changes takes place in the zygote we will discuss. So, by the fertilization, the zygote formation takes place. The zygotes develops as embryo and embryo develops as fetus and fetus develops as fully developed fetus. After completion of fetus development, the parturition takes place. So, the development of embryonic development is called gestation. So, the zygote undergoes different types of the modifications. Once the zygote is formed in the fallopian tubes, the zygote undergoes different types of the modifications, different types of the cell divisions. So, zygote developed as embryo. So, formation of embryo from the zygote is called embryogenesis. Genesis, formation. The formation of embryo from the zygote is called embryogenesis. So, embryogenesis consists different types of the modifications, different types of the stages. So, those are cleavage, blastulation, gastrulation, organogenesis. The embryogenesis consists different types of the stages: cleavage, blastulation, gastrulation, organogenesis. So, before going to implantation, we need to discuss these type of modifications which takes place in the region of zygote. So, first one is cleavage. So, cleavage means the mitotic cell division in the zygote is called cleavage. The zygote, after the formation of the zygote undergoes different types of mitotic cell divisions. The mitosis takes place. The zygote is rapidly divides by the mitotic divisions, and by these divisions the cell number is increases, but the size of embryo remains the same. By these divisions, by the mitotic divisions, so what is mitosis? The cell number is increases, the number of cells are increases, but the size of embryo remains same. That you need to remember. The number of cells are increases in the cleavage. So, what is cleavage? The mitotic cell divisions in the zygote is called cleavage, right? The mitotic division starts at the zygote, moves through the isthmus of the oviduct towards the uterus. So, where the fertilization occurs, earlier class we discussed, fertilization occurs between ampulla and isthmic junction of oviduct of the female, and once the zygote undergoes cleavages, the mitotic division starts as the zygote moves through the isthmus of the oviduct towards the uterus. Why towards the uterus? For the purpose of implantation. So, implantation takes place in the region of uterus only. So zygote undergoes mitotic divisions, cleavages, and moves towards the uterus from the isthmus of the oviduct. So by the cleavage, the number of daughter cells are formed are called blastomers. So by the zygote undergoes mitotic divisions. By the mitotic divisions, the number of cells are formed are called blastomers. So what are blastomers? By the cleavage, the number of daughter cells are formed are called blastomers. So how many number of blastomers are formed? How the blastomers number is increased? The number of blastomers are increases like 2 increases, 4, 8, 16 cell stages. So the cell number is going to be doubled. 2 cell stages, 4 cell stages, 18 cell stages, 16 cell stages, 32 cell stages, 64 cell stages. The number of blastomers are increases like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and 64 cell stages. The embryo with 18 to 16 blastomers is called morula. What is meant by morula? Morula means the embryo with 18 to 16 blastomer cell stage is called morula. The embryo with 18 to 16 cell stage is called morula. Right? So here, what is meant by cleavage? Cleavage means the mitotic cell divisions in the zygote is called cleavage. So what is meant by blastomers? By the cleavage, the number of daughter cells are formed is called blastomers. So what is morula? The embryonic cell stage with 18 to 16 blastomers is called morula. So the morula continues to divide and transforms into blastocyst. The morula stage further continuously divide, the number of the cells are increases and forms as blastocyst. So whenever the morula which is passing through the oviduct from the isthmus to the uterus, during that time only the number of the cells are increases inside the embryo. That you need to remember here. The morula continues to divide and transforms into blastocyst stage. So blastocyst is formed inside the oviduct only. Once blastocyst is formed, the blastocyst is need to attaches with the uterus wall of endometrium wall of the uterus. That is implantation. Blastocyst further moves into uterus. Up to this clear all of you, right? Okay. So this is regarding about cleavage. So what is the next stage? Blastulation. Blastulation. So what is meant by blastulation? The rearrangement of blastomers from blastocyst with blastocele is called blastulation. Blastulation. Rearrangement of blastomers from blastocyst with blastocele is called blastulation. So blastomers, what are blastomers? The daughter cells which are formed by the cleavage is called blastomers. So blastomers from blastocyst rearrangement with blastocele. So what is blastocele? The cavity of the blastocyst is called blastocele. The cavity, the space which is presented inside the blastocyst is called blastocele. Right? Okay. The blastomers in the blastocyst are arranged into an outer layer is called trophoblast, and inner group of cells attached to the trophoblast is called inner cell mass. So what is the structure of blastocyst? The blastocyst, see here, the blastocyst